Hey everybody, it's John the Pool Expert, and today we're going to be attempting to change out a impeller on an old pump. So all of the pumps are a little bit different, but this one is a fairly common old pool pump. I'll give you the specifications here in a minute, and we'll just go over basically how to swap out an impeller. So hopefully this all works out. Okay, this is an old UltraFlow made by American Products. Now it's Pentair, and this is probably a pump from about the 80s and late 80s. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try to remove this motor and put a new impeller on it. So first thing you want to do before you start unhooking power is you go to the breaker, and you got to make sure that the breaker's off. And we'll just shut everything off, that way we're safe. Don't have to worry about anything coming on. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to pull this off. We're going to remove the power from the back of it, and then I'm going to undo that band. So let's work on getting this off first. Okay, so I got this off. We just need to remove the power, and these are just stabbed on there, and we have a just unhook the ground here. Okay, now I'm just going to remove this band around this. Alrighty, it looks like the impeller is in two pieces. So there's our problem. So we'll remove this. You can also pull out the diffuser. This piece is called a diffuser. What it does is it kind of points the water where to go to get out. Gets it going in the right direction. And then we'll put some new O-rings on. This thing should work a lot better. Okay, next we gotta get this impeller off. So here we have, looks like we have something to grab onto here, and then we've got to get a hold of this over here to keep it still. This is the shaft. That should unscrew. This is reverse threads. And then this should be threads the other way. Usually I stick a screwdriver in here. I don't know if I can. There we go. Just unscrew that off of there. And then this is our shaft seal. Right here, it's a ceramic seal. And so I recommend picking up a Go kit for the pump. You just get the one for your particular type of pump. It's got the shaft seal, replacement shaft seal. It's got the replacement O-ring for this right here. There's a big O-ring that goes right there. It's got a new one. It's got, I think, a new one for the lid. And it's got some magic lube so that you can put some silicone in there to keep it good. So first thing we're going to do is pop out this old shaft seal, pop in a brand new one, get the new impeller, which is right here. That's the impeller. That's what it's supposed to look like. So that should fix this problem. Once we pull this shaft, put a new shaft seal right inside of here, and should be good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this back plate first. So you just need a socket to loosen these, and then they should come out pretty easy. But you may need to crank them out. So I got them all started, and now I'm just pulling them out. And this whole plate should come off. Okay, I popped this plate off of there, and then the easiest thing to do is stick a screwdriver in here and just try to push out the seal from the back side. And you might have to get a hammer or something and tap it out. Let me do that real quick. Okay, that worked. So I popped that out. We'll clean this up real good, and then we'll put some silicone in there, and then pop in the new shaft seal. First, I'm going to put a shaft seal. So I got this thing out, got it all cleaned up. We got the shaft seal popped out, and I'm going to put a new one in. I'm going to put a little bit of silicone on this, just to help it stay in there, keep it kind of watertight. These things are kind of hard to get seated in there. Let's see. So I just took this piece of 1-inch bell, just fit over the top of this, got it pushed in there nice and even. So, okay, so this guy goes back onto the pump motor, and the top is the tall part. This little thing's going to show us where the top is. A nut and a washer. It goes back on. Okay, next, so I got this guy tightened up. Next, we got to put the shaft seal on the impeller. The white part goes away from the impeller, and obviously this only goes on one way. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this magic lube on here. And this Go kit comes with a little bit of magic lube, so you don't have to go buy a whole bottle of it. And you just push it in there, and then it should look like the original one. And then you just screw this back on. Just righty-tighty, just normal. I'm going to hold on to the shaft. Just tighten it up. And then we're going to put back on this little reverse threaded fitting that goes inside of here. Now this is going to be left to tighten it. And then the thing doesn't have to be on too terribly tight. Just give a little bit of it tight, and that's it. And then this is the diffuser, and so that sits. Sometimes they'll tell you what side's up. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but it'll fit right onto this. And then that's ready to go. There's a new, this is the old O-ring for this, and so this will be the new one. And that just goes around here. And now this is the O-ring that goes around the whole thing. Now this one, I recommend putting some magic lube in this. Make sure it's pretty clean first. Take a rag or something. Kind of make sure it's all cleaned out. And we'll put some new bead of magic lube in there. And just smear it around. Like so. Drop this guy in there. Also, that's also going to kind of hold it in place when you go to put the motor back on, and to keep it from popping out. And then put a little smooth around this, all the way around the inside, so you get some connection from the inside. And then make sure on the pump itself, the housing itself, that you wipe that off so it has a nice clean place to attach to. So next, we go back out, put this thing back on. Okay, so I'm just wiping this off real good. Give us a nice clean place to attach to. I kind of already washed everything down, but get this motor to fit right in that hole there. And then we just need the clamp. Where's the clamp? Okay, so we got the clamp. This clamp you can kind of put on any direction that's convenient for you to be able to get to the little nut that holds it on there. So if you need to flip it the other way, that's fine too. Snug that back up real tight. Should be tight. I'm going to put the electric back on here. Push that back through there. Just tighten this down. Kind of old, so do the best you can with what you have to work with here. You can see that from over there. We'll bring it over here. So if you don't know what you're doing on this, get an electrician or somebody who knows what they're doing. But we've got this 240 volts. So we've got a hot here and a hot here. Move that the other way. Really doesn't matter which one goes where on these. Just make sure there's no exposed wires that's touching anything. And then the ground. And make sure you're doing this with the power off, so you're not damaging yourself. And then let me tighten up this ground. Put the back on as best we can. Take the lid. Just gonna wipe this out where the old O-ring was. Get a nice clean place. Brand new O-ring. Then we're all set. We should turn this on, make sure it's not making any weird noises. Nice and quiet. We're going to fill the basket with water all the way to the pipe. That way it's not trying to run dry. It'll prime itself up. And put the basket in it, put the lid on it, and that's it. Okay, we're going to put this basket in. Now we got it filled up with water. It's all clean in there. Clean the basket out. Got a new O-ring on this lid. See if I can get that nice and snug. See if you can see what prime up.